Why does it look dark in here? I don't know. Good evening, everybody. Here we go. Just give you a little poke in the lens there. Let me check these camera angles. I don't know what my sound is like. I have been fiddling with my microphone. So please let me know if it's too loud or not loud enough. Also, we have got some super glue activator, which we won't be using today. But it does have this interesting looking ghost thing on the front. Quiet volume. Good evening, Mr. Charlan Sinead. How do we pronounce that? How quiet are we? Someone give me a heads up on the volumes here. Do we need to crank the volume up or not? That is the question. Do we need to increase the volume? I have my telly at 20 volume. I don't know what that means. I need some assistance. I have got a way to check this. No, I haven't. Yes, I have. I may get massive feedback loops if I try it myself. I thought it would be alright, you know. I genuinely thought the volume would be okay. Oh, this light is bright today. That's what happens when you fiddle. You get a fiddly light. I'm gonna run with it. Can you even hear what I'm saying? This is the big question. I'm a little bit worried that if I change the volume, then the stream might crash. And that would be the end of the world as we know it. I don't know. Right. Why have I got a pen? I guess I could draw on this. So we are painting this this creature from Warcry, which I heard he set fire to my kitchen. Marvellous. Well done. If anyone would like to check on that man to see if he hasn't frazzled himself, please do so. So we're going to begin by painting something on this Chimera. And I reckon I'm going to go straight in on the body. Now, I felt like we would be a bit clever today. And when we're clever, we're usually bad. So I'm gonna do something very strange here. We're gonna use some inks. What have we got here? FW, which stands for Fiddly Water. And there we go, that's what FW stands for. Fiddly Water. Hello Melanie, how are you? Melanie, you're a sensible person. How is the volume? Can you hear what I'm saying? Can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth right now? I'm expecting a reply. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to mix up an orange. So I've got a yellow. I'm going to shake it. I'm going to shake it. I'm worried that that lid isn't on correctly. We could have all sorts of inky problems, couldn't we? The kitchen is safe. This is good. I don't know what's going to happen here. This may be the worst paint job I've ever done in my entire life. a job cover. What is a job cover? How are you anyway, Mr. Brooks? How are you, Melanie? And how is Sharian? Is it Sharian? Sharian? I hate it when I can't pronounce people's names correctly. Give it a good shake. I should have put some balls in these. Maybe I should do that. Oh, look at the bubbles coming to the surface. Bubbles. Good, thank you. Yes, this is the onesie. The Discord. I haven't been on the Discord chat for a while. I do apologise. Right. I'm going to do something where people use real primary colours nowadays. So most people know that red, blue and yellow are not really the primary colours. The primary colours, so I've been reading into, cyan, magenta and yellow. So I'm going to make an orange with magenta and yellow. That's my plan. So I'm just going to have one drop of each. One drop of... Is this magenta? Yes. Hello, Alinda. How are you? I hope you're here to tell us how your job interview went. And you have to tell us the whole story of what the job even is. Why am I starting to talk like that? Right, so it's 2 drops of that. Oh, before I continue, I mustn't forget the magic water here. So I'm going to add some magic water to my... No, I'm not, because it's so damn thick. This is going to go very wrong. Here we go. Bit of magic water in my water. Also known as dishwasher or dish soap. The whole story. Yeah, we want the whole story. Why not? And then I want a big brush. Let's mix that up. Give us the whole story. Alright, we've done 2 drops of that. I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 45, 70, 80, 90, 30, and a load more. So here we go. We have made an orange. I didn't think we were going to pull this off, but we have. Let's test out the... So we're a little bit thin. But that's alright, because that's what I wanted. Let me see if we can get some zoom on this. This is going to be the worst paint job you've ever seen in your life. I think I'd need a little bit more ink in this. Oops, never mind. You just never know what's going to happen. Bit down here. This looks a bit more interesting. No, we are still very thin. But I can run with this. So I'm still waiting to hear about what happened on this job interview. We haven't heard any of the story yet. Do you want to come around further around here? So I'm going to paint his rear with the orange mix. So it's going to look absolutely shocking to begin with. We'll lay some very thin base colours on. Very thin. A government job. Why am I choking so much tonight? Vehicle registration. Does this mean you can make us some fake ID plates and the like? And you will know, but I think you've got the job. I have decided you have got the job. So there you go. Done. Alright, we'll just come down here a bit more. I don't know what they have in... Oh God, what country is Alinda in? I'm going to have to guess now. I think Alinda is in... Holland? Are you Dutch? Are you a tulip Dutch? There we go, a bit more orange down the tail there. Some more sweeps there with one. Look at that, just bleeding down there. Absolutely atrocious. This is gonna look incredibly bad when we're finished. But that's where the fun is. We get a bit of wobble. Are you a bit low? Do you need to point down a bit? Hello, Caitlin. How are you? It's very kind of you to join us. I hope you've got some exciting stories to tell us. Bingo. Someone's playing bingo. What did you win? Oh, his belly's a bit darker there. His belly's a bit darker. Getting a bit of pooling up. Just have to spread it around a touch on the back of the leg. So I'm not really sure what colour you would call this that I've used. I think it's like the terrible yellow colour. A yellowy orange, perhaps. Is it possible to get this whole thing painted in one stream? I don't think so. If I up my brush size, it might be possible. There we go, a bit more around the belly here. I'm gonna leave the feet, because I might try and bring another colour into his feet, perhaps, and his belly. We'll leave his belly the colour as is. We'll just splash a load of paint down. There's something. What's the word? Something freeing about painting when you don't really care about your neatness. That's something which I enjoy. Not a lot of saturation in that colour yet, but my goal is to just layer with lots of thin layers and then see what happens. I mean, it might look shocking, but that's fine. No interesting stories. What about the story behind your necklace from Final Fantasy? Interesting stories. Someone was hallucinating that they were waiting for the bus. That sounds worrying. Were they waiting outside? Where was the hallucination taking place? I hope it was in a safe environment. And yeah, it's going to be kind of warm colours, although the paint has already bled down onto his foot, so that is going to be a problem changing the colours down there, isn't it now? Oh well, we'll just see what happens. We'll run with it. Who cares? This chair. Maybe it's something I should add to my shopping list. A new chair. Are we going for a warm coloured Chimera? Yes. Yes, that sounds professional, doesn't it? If we say yes. Yes, we're going for a warm tones Chimera. And we're going to play around the warmer areas of the colour spectrum. So he's going to have one red head, one yellow head, and one purpley red head, maybe? I don't know. Hello Verity, how are you? Ah, so you're not on the bus anymore. it's all starting to make sense. Now this is the first time I've painted a model by spraying it white from above and using thin layers. So this is all very new to me, but I felt it would be easy to slapdash it. A bit of arrogance on my part perhaps, but I assume this is how we learn things. The biggest takeaway was it is possible to fill massive gaps with 100 layers of green stuff. Her ticket was the bookmark. Marvellous. Did she get the bus? I do apologise, there's someone having a seizure by the sounds of it outside my window. And there is Luke's owner. Good evening. I can't pronounce that name. Lischinin? How are you and how is Luke? Well, I can't keep up. It's not a Final Fantasy necklace. It's the wolf medallion from The Witcher, which, can I be controversial and say, is a poor man's Final Fantasy? I don't know, I'll just put that out there. Look at all this. Look at all this coming down on his foot here. Terrible, terrible. Absolutely shocking. We're going to have to do some severe fixing. Somehow I'm not allowed to say I'm from Holland. Your messages weren't sent. Is that considered... what's the word? I can't even think of the... Why is my vocabulary so poor this evening? I must be excited. It's like Christmas Eve. I am good. I'm home with some dinner. You bought some paints for your own Chimera. That means we can have Chimera Wars. I hope you also choose to paint yours in a manner that you have never tried before, because that makes it more fun. Are these chimeras supposed to be in any particular faction in the game, or are they just like random monsters running around? This is my question. Check my chat settings. That's it. I reckon you've got an offensive word in there somewhere. That was the word I'm looking forward to. I think that's it for layer 1. Let's do a head. There we go. You've just had your dinner. What has everybody had for dinner? This is our favourite part of the evening, the dinner chat. This evening I had a wonderful chicken curry. There we go. Just mix that yellow ink up there. And this head here can be the yellow one. Slap it on. It's a bizarre yellow. It's like a false yellow. It looks almost green to my eye. And then we'll have to try and get some blends going on. Oh, that word, blends. It sounds good. Makes you sound professional, which we're not in the slightest. I thought these inks would cover a bit better, but then again I have thinned them down a lot. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, eating dinner, a salad and some cheese. Ah, but what sort of cheese is it? This is that. Why am I all the way over here? Let me know if that camera angle goes astray, and I shall do my best to sort it out. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong here. I'm putting too much paint on my old brush. Currently cooking chicken. So it's not spaghetti bolognese tonight. This may be the first non-spaghetti bolognese night we've had. Husband-made chorizo pasta. That sounds pretty good. Did it come with coffee cake? This is the big question. Was there coffee cake for dessert? Look at all them bubbles in there. Terrible. I don't know how to avoid that. Oh my word, is that yellow going all the way down there? Yep. There's blending and then there's that. I think we are overly wet. That's the trouble when you get things a bit too wet. That's alright. We're very thin layers so we can come back and redo all this. So that's fine. Mustn't worry. Mustn't worry. This is how we learn and find out interesting things. Chorizo pasta, yeah, it's good. You chop it up and it gives you that little bit of meaty flavour in there. I'm down for it. I'm down for chorizo pasta. What colour am I going to make his feet? I want them to be dark. Let's paint the other head. God, this looks shocking at the moment. All part of the fun. Where's my wiping rag? So we have a very yellow Chimera at the moment. Let's just plough on with the magenta. There we go. So far we've literally used 2 colours and it looks like we've used 1. Did it? A fly just landed on my palette. How dare it? It has landed in the yellow ink. Look at him. Spine. He heard there was a bit of a buzz. Right, so this head is going to be that. Oh my word, that is magenta. It's alright, we'll run with that. So can anybody tell me what a Chimera is and what does it do? This is working a bit better now. A little less slap, a little more precision. Gives you a little less bleed. I don't know what colour to paint that middle head yet. What colours did I say? Red, yellow, and kind of a purpley tint. His body's going to be orange. If we could even make it orange. A Chimera, yeah. What actually is a Chimera? When I was a youngster, when I was a small boy at school, we read about them. We used to think it was pronounced a Chimera. That is an interesting fact, isn't it? There we go. I might paint his feet this colour. Actually, I might paint his feet the darker colour that I'm going to paint the next head. There we go. That head is done for now. Obviously, we ain't going to keep it like that. You know, it looks pretty bad. The inside of his mouth looks alright though. Excuse me? Can you see the inside of my mouth? I do apologise for the voiceover. 2 or more animals fused together, mixed together. So a Chimera doesn't have to be any specific animal, and it's a chaos beast. So who really knows? I don't know. There might be some chaos beast experts out there, and I've missed a bit, haven't I? if anyone has any suggestions for paint colours or anything, I am all ears, because I am a chimeric ear with multiple ears. That didn't work. Beautiful. Yeah, voiceovers, something we need to work on a bit more. Voice acting, I should say. At least we haven't heard me singing for a while. That was bad. Alright. Now I'm going to mix something up. Look how yellow he's gone. He's gone so yellow. He looks like a chocobo. Or a chocobo. That is something I want to paint. Does anybody know where you can get a large chocobo? That would be epic. Okay. I was going to say I need a purple, but I have a purple. Let's give this a shake. Oh, I had a heart attack then. I thought I'd left the lid off. Shake and bake. Alright. Oh, you're a funny one. Why is it metallic? Why has it got metallic bits in there? Velvet violet. I've picked up the wrong colour, haven't I? How is Dutch? Dutch is fine. Dutch recently malted. I can't use that colour. Dutch recently malted, and he's being power fed because I like feeding him. But he seems to like being fed. He eats a lot. I did find out he wasn't the species he was sold to me as. Thanks to people on Instagram who are experts who told me. But luckily he isn't anything evil or nasty. It could possibly be a she. I am unsure. Why is this one like really pale? We may run into some problems here. Let's mix this one up. But there's a show on in a couple of weeks where I'm hoping to get a couple more spiders for the collection. Let's mix in a touch of that stuff. I think there's 4 on the list that I'd like. Yeah, apparently when they molt you can look for like their little hole, but when they're too small you can't tell what it is. I think an expert would probably be able to tell. I am just a regular schmuck when it comes to spider biology. I know what a leg is, and its torso. Alright, what's this colour like? No, I don't like that colour. It's too... There's not enough purple in it. I'm going to have to use that naughty colour. I'm going to have to do... No, I'm not. I've got a better idea. I've got a better idea. Or have I? Let's use some paints that need using up. What colour's that? Here we go. A colour from 1991. Warlock Purple. There you go. Any gender reveal party planned? No, I wasn't aware such a thing exists. I think this has gone off. It's dried up. That shows you how long ago I used that paint. In the bin. Right, what else have we got? How do you pronounce this word? Is it lich purple or Leica purple? Yeah, we've got a lot of old paints knocking out. That one's gone off as well. That's what happens with paints from the 90s. They're dry that I haven't used. Right, what have I got? Where's me purple? I normally have a... This colour. This purple's alright. Although on the camera, it doesn't look purple, does it? That's weird. I don't know. All you youngsters. $19.91. My word. That was like last week. Okay, so I think we're going to get some opacity coming into the equation now. Now is the time to thin, thin, thin. I think palette cam is lost, perhaps. 1991. So I don't remember much of 1991. How old would I have been? 9 years old. Oh, this is a very purpley purple. Mustn't go overboard. And then we'll just stipple in the blend there and watch it run down and cock up the rest of the paint job. Marvellous. There's nothing to really cock up, is there? How is Andy's kitchen? I love a good purpley purple. If you want a good purpley purple, Vallejo Violet is brilliant. I know it's not showing up as violet on the camera. It looks more blue, doesn't it? But it's really purple. Paint his face. Get inside his gizzards. Do chimeras have gizzards? We need a history expert on the channel, or mythological history specialist subject. Hello, my name is David Smith, and my specialist subject is monsters from myth and legends. Hello, David Smith. Your specialist subject is monsters in myth and legends. Your minute starts now. What animal with 3 heads has been painted very badly on a stream recently? The Chimera. Correct. There we go. Mastermind. Now that was an epic TV show. If any of you are old enough to even know what it was, this looks weird. Is the only word I'm going to call it. What colour am I going to do the wings? Oh no. Someone very badly, yes? What was very badly? Someone give me a wing colour. I think I prefer the magenta for his feet so far. This purple I feel is a bit too out of tone. It's tonally wrong for the model. I feel like I'm taking the piss painting like this. Back to the magenta. So someone give me an idea for a wing colour and we'll do it. Use the rocks as my palette. The orange and yellow mix reminds me of iodine. I think we used iodine a lot at school. If we had a teacher around, we'd know. Blue. Blue or flesh? Well, there we go. There's 2 answers. So, what if I do both? What's a flesh coloured wing look like? Are we talking like people flesh? Ugh, this tune hurts my ears. Remind me to edit this out. Blue and flesh. Fleshy blue. I'll mix the two together and see what we get. A fleshy blue colour. That's not a bad shout, is it? We're going to go completely off palette by doing that, but that's what this is all about. Viewer interaction. So that way I have no accountability if it looks absolutely shocking at the end. I'll just say everyone says that's what we should have done, so it's their fault. And then when we post it up on Instagram, I just say, wasn't my fault, they made me do it. Why is he missing a bit there? Why is his colours run? That looks weird. Oh god, it's all running up the arm. It's all running down his leg. That's alright. It's alright. Iodine. What did we even use iodine for? I remember we used it. Obviously in a science lesson. Just blame me. You are renowned now for painting those Tau in a fiery manner. Did that man apologise in the end for what he said? Was that a week ago we were talking about that? How has this week gone so quickly? I need to thicken these paints up just so they dry. Actually, that's not right, is it? If I was putting the correct amount of paint on, we wouldn't have to. But no, we have to slap it on like a loser, didn't we? I wonder if we can use some of this magenta. Oh, no, don't do that. Okay. Feet done. Feet done, look at it. If you can call it looking like it's stepped in a lot of pile of tomatoes, then yeah, the feet are done. Well, they're not done. They've had a bit of base coating going on. What colour am I going to paint the tip of his tail? That has to match something. Oh god. Why are we off camera again? And this one. It's not very straight, is it? I don't know. Match the purple head. He didn't apologise. What a bastard. Did everyone else give him a shouting down, tell him to shut his mouth up? That's what normally happens. Who was the girl who was posting something like rainbow, and there was one bloke who was getting a bit mouthy, and I think everyone in the community gave him what for? I can't remember who that was. Must have been around the time of the old Pride month. Okay, so we're matching the purple head. I have to admit, in my head when I painted this, I don't know if you guys do what I do when you imagine painting something and you kind of imagine what it's going to look like and you go through the steps and you pick the colours as you go. It looked nothing like what I'm doing now. The colours were nowhere near as transparent in my head. It is an opinion, but there's ways to give an opinion without coming across as a complete naughty boy. I mustn't use bad language on here, mustn't I? Otherwise YouTube shuts me down. Can't have any of that bad language. There we go. He's got two purple ended heads. Just dab a bit on here and there. Right, so next we've got to do the wings. It is starting to dry, so we can start doing layer 2 in a little while. It looks so bad. We need to get a picture of this out on Instagram in a minute. Try and pretend that I think it's really good. Look at this. I'm so proud of it. Flesh paint. What have we got over here? Layer Cadian flesh tone mixed with. Give me a colour blue. Good evening, Goldfinch middies. I remembered. How are you? This is probably a bad time to join the stream, as we're having a bit of a cock-up issue here. Am I allowed to say that word? Blue. I'm going to use blue, just Vallejo blue, and flesh. Let's see what we get. I don't put the lids on those. I know what I'm like. I'll knock those over, and then we will have an inktrocity. I'm very well, thank you. Although I'm struggling here. Give it a good shake. What's new in your world? How is your blog? Bit of flesh. Bit of blue. Did I shake that blue? And we have fleshy blue. That looks weird. It looks brown. Fuck it, let's do it. You called this colour, so that's what we're running with. I think we may have made a mistake here, but I'm not the one to blame. So blue and flesh made a sort of grey brown. Oh, thank you. I have a couple of supporters on the Patreon. More blue. Okay. Can you see that on Palette Cam? It's Patreon's a weird one. I went for years without using it because it feels like a I don't know. Feels like weird when I see what people do with it. Like the girl who was selling her bath water. But everyone says you must have it, so I've got it. How's that? That's a little bit more blue. That's alright, isn't it? That's like a stormy blue now. I can roll with that. Oh dear, we've got horns here. Let's try and avoid those for now. And we'll just run this colour over lovely like that. Marvellous. Yeah, that's not a bad colour. Not a bad shout actually there. Why am I shouting? I must be really enjoying myself. I'm going to try and mix some flesh in for the centre of the wings. And I think that will look wonderful. Oh, I'm missing out. It sucks. You don't have a bath. Do you only have showers at your house? And why were people paying this girl for her bath water? This is the question I cannot fully comprehend. Why they would pay someone for their bath water? Is it like a social prostitution thing where you kind of renting out bits of yourself, a bit of interaction? That sounds like a very woke term, doesn't it? I think there's something down the outside of the wing, so I'm going to go with that. What I'll do at the end is I'll come in and paint the horns and teeth and mouth and lips properly at the end. The devil is in the details, or the Chimera is in the details. Oh god, that's smearing out all over the place. Never mind. She got paid for dirty water. Do you think Yeah, I will be blaming it, don't worry. I'm happy to pass the blame. Do you think it was genuine bath water that she was selling, or do you think she just got some random water and said it was her bath water? Silence takes us. She has made a name for herself doing this, hasn't she? Like, everyone knows who the bathwater gets. Is her name Delphine? Not that I'm following her or paying her for bathwater or anything. I just notice these things. There we go. Another blue strip painted in there. I might have to get some flesh and see if I can do some sort of liar's blend in the middle. I can't blend paints, but I can pretend I know how to blend. A pre-blend, we'll call it. People do know her name. As someone said, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Did you see that thing on the news today where they pulled a demonstrator off the train and then proceeded to kick the shit out of him? I mustn't laugh. I mustn't laugh. But I sort of think, well, if you're going to jump on the train and prevent people getting on, people will kick the shit out of you. I can't condone such behaviour, but I understand why they do such behaviour. Oh, we're talking politics. Mustn't talk politics. I think the Chimera's got sort of like bat wings. This isn't a bad pair of wings, you know. They're alright. Here we go. Just splash it on there. Slop it all over. Tell you what would be a laugh. Shall we enter this model in this upcoming Golden Demon? Yeah, I think I should win. We've used a lot of pioneering techniques in this model. We've used what we call a social blast method of choosing colour palettes and tone. It's all about talking the talk. Marvellous. Yeah, we definitely win with this model, and we'd have to enter it as a syndicate because it wasn't painted just... Are there any rules saying your model must be painted by one person, or can you have a group collaboration? You totally win. We got the wooden spoon. Yes. I'd be happy with a wooden spoon. If we get in White Dwarf magazine with this beauty, we'll have like an amalgamate. We'll have a chimeric name as the painter. Look at that, it writes itself. We add everyone's names together. We will have the name of the artist. It's looking good. I can't tell if you're being genuine or taking the piss. Ooh, I swore. I'm sorry, I swore. This blue and flesh tone keeps separating on the palette. That's alright. Separation is the key to inconsistency. And inconsistency is the step towards realism. I should be an art teacher with these lies I come out with. They're all just excuses for doing a bad job, really. Just blend that down there, put that smear down there. There we go. What else have we got left to do? Oh, we've missed a bit there. That's one thing I don't like about using this bright primer is I can't hide all my mistakes with the black. There's no hiding from your poor workmanship. So now if I thin this a bit more, and then just do some lines on the outside, and then we'll come back and we'll try to blend the flesh into these. Let's do that now, because it might look terrible. It could be your logo. What could be the logo? What have I missed? This thing? Oh no, all the colours running down his back from the wings. That's quite entertaining. Good old squirt of the old thinning medium. Alright, here's where the fun begins. And then we'll just put a bit of flesh on the wings here, give that a little blend, and oh my word, it looks terrible. I don't know, some people might see this as a very avant-garde method of painting, and some people would see right through it and say it's terrible. I think I need a little bit more flesh colour in there. It could be your motto. What? What have I forgotten here? What have I missed? The old motto was cocking up so you guys didn't have to. But this is better. This is a nicer colour. We're kind of getting the flesh. So we've gone with the blue and the flesh. And I'm not sure what to make of what we've done here, but I'm on the fence. I'm happy to see how it pans out. We've got time to turn this around and enter it into Golden Demon and send it into White Dwarf. Dear White Dwarf, please be kind enough to have a look at my latest piece, the Warcry Chimera. This time we tried something a little bit different when painting it, but I'm sure you'll agree that it looks absolutely tremendous. Inconsistency. Yeah, that's it. Inconsistency is key. If you mix that many animals, yeah. It was consistent inconsistency is the key to realism. How about that? That sounds good, doesn't it? This flesh tone on the wing here, it looks almost real. It looks almost real. Someone could look at this through the corner of their eye and think there's a genuine monster on that painting table. And then they'd be like, oh no, it's just a model. And then we all laughed. What lies may come. Marvellous. This is a Chimera of Joy. It was painting. It was painted using much love and joy. Just stick that. His tail is dry, so we can go back and start double layering things now, and it might start bringing it a bit more together. I may be wrong. How have I missed those two flaps in between his? Oh God! Don't touch it there. Things I don't want it to touch, because when we touch, we get a lot of bleed like that. Okay, we'll let it bleed. Who cares, eh? Consistent inconsistencies are the key to realism. I wonder if I could get that printed in White Dwarf as well. You've got to get the kids. See you later. Have a nice day, Mel. She was very quiet. Normally she's very loud. She must have been amazed by the skills on show. Just sitting there gobsmacked. It's so good. So good. Lisa, you haven't told us what you've had for your dinner this evening. This is one of the big questions of the day. I don't know if you can see down here, but we have a lot of bleed and runoff between the colours. Look, it's even bled all down there. It's got a nice colour, but it's on the base. So pasta, just plain pasta. You can't have just had pasta. Was there any sauce? Oh, regarding your fire dragon, or was it a red or a purple dragon you said you had? Curiosity got the better of me that evening, and I perused the old out of production dragon models from Citadel. That's why I'm going to pronounce my T's correctly. And there's a awesome Imperial dragon, is it? And you got the wings skeleton, and then you had to use like tissue paper to make the wings. And it was glorious, and I was like, I need one of those, but I'm going to imagine they cost a pretty penny on the second-hand market nowadays. Other than that, I'm still down for painting Smaug. So when we've finished this Chimera, I'm going to put it in a little display case. I'm going to put one of my stickers on the outside and say an official paint job buy, and then we're going to flog it 350 quid. Hope some lucky person buys it. They would be lucky, and that will fund the Smaug. But we can't paint the Smaug in normal colours. You say that wing looks good, but you're not seeing it close up. If you were here, you would probably be on the floor laughing. That's how good it looks. Right, let's do the underside of Sea Wings. I'll just paint. No, I don't need to do that. Right, the bleedy bits under the wing here. Did you send the sticker, by the way? No. I'm sorry. I completely forgot. But I will. I will send a sticker. Does anyone else want a sticker while we're at it? Oh god, I feel really bad now. I do apologise. I'm terrible for remembering to send things. Why is it so hard to remember these things? But I will do it. I will do it, I promise. Scout's honour. I will send the sticker. Oh no, we're not going to make it in time. No, there's no way around it. When is the competition, by the way? I never use this long painting style. I have to admit, I feel like I'm painting a landscape out on location. This weekend, yeah, it's not going to get there in time even if I sent it tomorrow morning, is it? Unless I flew it there personally by private jet or helicopter. I could send it on the Chimera. Stickers, yeah. Have you not seen the stickers? Did I put the stickers on Instagram? Or did I forget to do that as well? I have a long weekend coming up this weekend where I don't have to be at work for 4 days, so I'm hoping I can catch up on all those things I should have done. I tell you what, I think you guys made the right call with the blue and flesh for the wings. That's something I would have never gone with, but I think it's alright, isn't it? Looks alright. I think it looks interesting, different. Look at that one's head. It's just going to get us a golden demon. Haven't seen the stickers. If you give me 30 seconds, I'll just finish this layer and I'll see if I can get them. They're right behind me on the shelf. I think I got them from a merchandising website. And I thought stickers would be something fun to give people. And you can do the sticker swap. I got the idea from a snake community that I'm part of, where everyone breeds snakes. And they all have their own brand, because if you have a brand for a snake breeder, then you all send each other your stickers to collect. But anyway, here they are. These are the stickers. There's a whole bag full. Maybe I should get one on my palette. And then it would just get ruined, wouldn't it? Let's do this other wing. I'm looking forward to going back in with the other colours now. We better do his tongue and whatever else. Do the underwing pieces here. They're alright, aren't they? I think they cost like a pence each. It's going to cost me more to post them out than it did to buy them, so that's pretty good value in my opinion. Has anyone seen the new Joker? No, I haven't made a wet palette. However, this weekend on my to-do list is a do-it-yourself wet palette video that I'm going to make. So that gives me an excuse to actually make one if I make a tutorial video on how to make one. That way I can kill two birds with one stone. That's the plan. But I've got everything I need. I even went out to the shops and bought everything. I don't know if I could use it though. It just seems a bit weird, so different. I've had the wet palette conversation with a few people, and everyone says it's a game changer. Game changer, mate, game changer. Get a wet palette, everything's better. I can't see how it is. Have you entered this month's painting competition in the local games workshop? Oh, I might run out of paint here. If we run out of paint, we just thin it to make it go further. Whoops. Once you go wet, you'll never go back. A Tupperware container of 25 carats. 25 carat gold wet palette container. If you had to sum up a wet palette and why it was good, what would you say? What makes a wet palette so good compared, apart from the fact your paints don't dry out overnight so you can use the same mix tomorrow? I get that, but oh, 25 cents. Ah yes, you're using euros, aren't you, instead of, I remember this, in Holland they used to use, they had a name obviously for their currency, We had them when we went there a long time ago. I think it would have been about 1997. I was in Holland with the art college, and we used, did it begin with D? Goldens, no. Okay, it wasn't D. Goldens. Now it's Euros. Ah, Lady Alinda and Alinda. This is where we have both Alindas in the chat at the same time. Yeah, but this is the only positive I'm hearing, is that the paints don't dry out. But what else is there? That can't be the sole reason for people thinking they're so good, can it? Alright, we're nearly on layer 2, and that's a good start. Ah, I made one. Means that when I'm painting metallics, my paint is actually usable instead of drying up quickly and wasting a lot. I understand that. However, I don't tend to waste paint because, as you see, it literally takes 20 years before I've used up a whole pot. So I don't really worry about wasting paint. Mix your own colours. I'm being a bit of a naysayer here. When I'm mixing my own colours, I normally write my mix down. Blending, I can understand that, yeah. You can kind of blend on the palette and then use from the palette rather than having to keep re-blending. That makes sense. Ah, consistent, there's that word again. Consistently inconsistent. Right, we are on to round 2. What colour, everybody, shall I paint this monster's crest here? I feel that his crest needs a little bit of differentiation. He's a purple. Look at that bleed coming down there. I'll make one, we'll see how we'll get on. Same flesh as the wings. Good shout. The blue or the flesh? I'm going to assume you mean the flesh. Or do you mean the blue? Or, we could be clever here. Both. Going to do the blue blending into the flesh. Assuming this paint is still usable. Yes, it is. Who needs a wet palette? So we'll paint into his little crest there. I don't remember a dragon having a chimera having a dragon's head. I thought it was lion, goat. Oh, maybe it was a dragon. I can't remember. I need to watch some movies. So that was my question. Has anybody seen the new Joker movie? There's a bit of bend there. I thought I just snapped it. Bit of blend there. Just jam it in the hole. If in doubt, just stuff it in. You haven't seen the movie. I'm supposed to go and see it on Saturday, and my friend at work, he tells me it's in his top 3 movies of all time. And I said to him, so what are the other 2? And he said, I don't know. But it was good enough to be in his top 3. Luckily this time it's people saying it's really good as opposed to just the internet. Because when the internet says it's really good, it's usually a bit of a letdown, isn't it? I think it'll be good. Okay, and I'm going to paint that little... No, I'm not. I'm going to blend it up with the orange. I'm starting to get ideas now. So we'll put this flesh on the crest. Golden Demon 2020 right here. Has anyone ever got their models inside the local games workshop? I'm wondering if I can get this in ours. I wonder if they'd be kind enough. If I gave them enough of a sob story, would they let me put this in the window? Probably not, because it may be bad advertising for them. The Joker movie was too violent to watch. The trailers don't suggest much violence, which is probably good, because the trailers haven't given the whole movie away. And I've got blue stains. A volcanic ghost keel. Alright, we'll try and get this in the window. I'll have a word with them. Oh, I can't stand going in that shop. Alright, I'll see what I can do. What do you think of this, Jason? I think that's really good. Yes? Where are we at? So we've done those crests. Just put a touch more on there. Right. I think we're on to round 2 of... Oh, you stupid boy. I've missed some bits on the top of the wings there. Go around those. Give them some money. That would probably work if I bought something and just distracted them by buying something and then just hid it in the cabinet when they weren't paying attention. How the hell did that get in there? How long's that been in there for? I think it's really good. Right. We are on to... This might work, you know. Round 2. So where did we start first? On the body. Let's go back to our orange. Oh, we wanted to paint his belly a different colour. What colour should we paint his belly? Any suggestions? I'm going to call this one. I'm going for that magenta colour. Just a touch on the belly. Oh, this is the problem. These inks are too thin. I'm just going to have to swap to paint here, I think. Just give it a smear on the bottom. Beautiful, beautiful smearing there. staff paint on the a Warhammer club at school. We didn't have those when I was a youngster. If we had anything to do with Games Workshop, we'd be beaten up, because back in my day it was all football, and if you didn't play football and you were painting those toys, you would be beaten up. But things have changed. And the palette cam is losing the plot over here over the last few years. Right, let's swap to a more orange. Oh dear, repeating. We're going to use Vallejo model colour orange red, or Rojo Claro. What language is that? Spanish? I need to swap my palette out. Mine's full. Uno momento. New palettes, please, with bits of stuff on them. That is Spanish. See, I know my Spanish. Honest. I am just winging it, much like painting this, it's all winging it. A bit of Rojo Claro on there. Counts as a skill on the DOFE. I'm going to have to ask, what is the DOFE? The Department of Fiddly Excitement? The dangerously... the dangerously... I don't know. What's DOFE? It's German now. You laughed a bit. That's alright. Laughing a bit is better than not laughing at all, or perhaps crying. I want a lot more thinness on here. So we're now going to go to town with this orange. I'm worried, but who cares? So, oh, we're a lot more orange now. That was the colour I originally intended. So we're going to use the old stipple mechanic to paint this. The stippling enables you to be consistently, everyone say it together, inconsistent. The Duke of Edinburgh Award. I always thought that was just like canoeing and stuff, and orienteering that people did, and no one even know. We're like, how do you even sign up for that? Where do you even join? Want more water in this. Looks good on university applications. I didn't go to university because I was a scum. I was just a dirty little scumbag. But kudos to all those who did go to university. Well done. Rojo Claro all the way here. This is a much nicer. So I have to say, my idea of using the inks failed. That was a fail. However, we have learned something here. Don't paint a model purely with ink, because it just looks poor. But using very thin paint gives me the effect that I actually was originally intending. But it kind of looks like it's meant to be like it now. We're getting a gradient between the old Rojo Claro and the yellow. Stippling helps. So we just jam a little bit up here, under the arm. Working our way down onto the thigh, because everyone likes their thigh being poked. A little bit under here. My whole table's wiggling around. It's like sitting on a washing machine. Back of the legs maybe. No, I'm going to bring it a little further down. On to the side of the legs. So that side comes around the belly, and this side now matches. Okay, now we need to get these arms done. Give them a bit of the old Rojo Claro. If anything, using Vallejo paints is teaching me another language. So that's something you can say at school. All the paints have foreign languages on them, and we all use the foreign words, thus learning a foreign language. And they'll be like, that is brilliant. Why didn't we think of these things before? And you can say, well, you should have gone to that stream. There we go, just tap, tap, tap. Bit more. Oh, we're getting a bit of runoff here. The fur on the back of his arms needs to be a slightly different colour, I feel. Not sure what colour we're going to use for that. We won't worry about that for now. Let's bust out the yellow. I think we should have had a bit of orange up there. Those curly. Oh! We mustn't forget his chest plumage. Well, that's a nice word, isn't it? Plumage. I might actually go back in and paint the plumage different colour later. Will he get tiger stripes as well? It would match the onesie, wouldn't it? Hello, I've got a sticker on here. Golden Delicious 4021. Okay, that looks like that came from an apple. I think we should give him tiger stripes. What do you think? Why not? Why the hell not? It's so bad. You're doing a great pronouncer. Yeah, I know all the Spanish names. What else have we got over here? We have blue, which is Azul Intenso, which I don't believe translates as blue. I believe that translates to intense blue, or deep blue perhaps. Violet is Violetta. That's an easy one. We need some yellow. This is one of my favourite yellows. This is flat yellow, or Amarillo, mate. I'm going to Amarillo, mate. It doesn't like showing that one up on the camera. Amarillo, mate. So, does that translate to flat yellow? Deep blue indeed. See, I could be a Spanish teacher. I'm missing a trick here. Why have I put yellow on my palette? Now say that with an Australian accent. Oh, okay. So now we're going to be talking with an Australian accent for another 5 or 10 minutes. You've got to say Amarillo, mate. Is that the kind of thing you were after? Mate equals matte. Okay. Well, it says flat, so I assume flat is matte. But yeah. Oh, very different on my palette to how I expected. This is a funny old colour. I may have to rescind my previous comment about this being a good yellow. Mix a touch of orange in there. That's better. That's a better yellow. It totally sounds Australian because of the mate at the end, mate. So now we're going to paint his belly and do some stippling around the join. I feel like his leg and his crotch need to be differentiated more somehow. Is that a genuine term? Does differentiated more exist? We'll see. And then we're going to have to put in some darker variations of the same tone just to get a bit of variety in there and texture. I have to say, this is probably the worst paint job I've ever done. That'll teach me for trying something clever. But it may be the worst paint job I've ever done, but it's got to be up there with most fun paint jobs. I don't feel like there's any stress in this. You know, when you're trying to paint something well and you're just stressing over it. There's none of that in this. There's none of that pressure to do a good job. It's all just fiddling and stabbing. Amarillo mate. There we go. So has anyone in the chat ever done a Duke of Edinburgh award? Oh, I've used the wrong colour for his feet, haven't I? I was supposed to be using a pinky magenta. I don't think I have. Got a scarlet I can use. You know you've been in the game too long when you know what paints you've got available. That blend has come out quite well on that tail. Accidentally, on purpose. Camping and me don't get on. Yeah, what about glamping? You started but never finished, so no one's done it. It looks really good on your uni application, but none of us bothered to do it. Well done. My stomach making noises. Well done, well done. Bit up there. I'm going to go ahead and just slot in. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. Down the arms, bit there, underneath. Oh, his hands are meant to be magenta as well, aren't they? Oh my word. This is... I'm lying to myself here. Getting carried away in the joy of painting. Never went to uni. Tenting in the backyard does count. I feel that you should send in your application to the Duke of Edinburgh Awards Society, or whatever they're known as, and claim your award for being in a tent in the backyard. I think you should get it. There we go. Oh, I've missed a lot of bits on the bottom, but no one ever looks at the underneath of minis anyway, do they? We always leave them completely. Popped up with some bits missing under the tail. We'll just fill those in. Just slap some yellow on. Bit of Amarillo. Is yellow Amarillo then? Where were we? Oh yeah, I was going to repaint this one's head now. We can get a bit of colour in the head here. So I guess this week it'll be base coating, and next week it'll be kind of like shading. There won't be any highlighting. It's all going to be shading. Shade, shade, shade. Painting with shades. Oh God, I thought I was going to have an accident then. Now I had an idea how I was going to paint that bit, and now I've forgotten. Never mind. I'll never know. Running out of paint. Quickly slap this on. Thin it a bit. Thinned out. Chuck some water in it. So this is like a furry beast on this head. The yellow head, I've done it the wrong way around, haven't I? I've given the furry beast the yellow and the chicken head the red. I should have given the chicken head the yellow. Although what rules I'm thinking of there, I have no idea. Is it an idea to make the stripes the same colour as his wing arms? The blue colour? Yeah, we can do that. I can't see any problem with doing that. So we'll have like blue tiger stripes. I'm seeing a lot of people paint minis, I don't like that term, models with pastel tones lately. This being one of them. Possibly the worst. Is this a new up and coming fad, or is it the fact that I'm just seeing it more now everyone is on Instagram and the like? That is the discussion point. So I need to get that blend going up his wing arm, as we call it. There we go, just dab, dab, dab. I like how we went from doing a yellow bit to blending oranges. A lot of non-metallic, yes, non-metallic metals are getting big. I tried it once and failed. Although it does look good when people do it well. There are a lot of good painters out there pulling that off. Is there a model that's sort of big and metallic that I could paint the whole thing in a bodged non-metallic metal? Maybe like an Empire steam tank. That would be the ultimate cock-up. Alright, let's go back to the magenta colour and do his feet, other head and arms. Demonette Chariot. Isn't that really fiddly though? I remember seeing that towel with the fake chroma effect back in the day. That was the first one I saw where they did like the horizon line and the reflected landscape in it. And at first glance it looks really good. And then your brain suddenly figures out how it's done and it looks terrible. That's weird. You're like, wow, that looks incredible. No, it looks terrible. Chrome NMM. I reckon we should try it. It would be so bad. So bad. Right, we need a magenta-y colour. What have we got over here? Dark Vermilion or Vermelon Oscuro. Vermelon Oscuro. So obscured melons. Okay. If I mix that with a touch of... I thought I had a nice scarlet colour. Have I got to dig through my paint pots now? Excuse me while I just have a... No, I'm going straight in with the red. Amazing Spanish skills. What is the correct the correct pronunciation? Is it Burmelon? It can't be Burmelon, can it? That sounds very non-Spanish. Is that a word? Non-Spanish? Sounds very wrong. Some water on there. Here we go. Just a touch of orange back in there to tie the colours together. Right. Back in with the red. Now it's like tomato orange. Beautiful, beautiful colours. Demonette Chariot. That's so fiddly. Well, demonettes would be fun to paint. But I think I'd want to put a lot of effort into demonettes. That's the issue. Demonettes look good, don't they? They're not just a big bulky mess. If I had to paint something of the Chaos variety, it would be Slaanesh, I feel. Maybe a bit of the old Tzeentch. When I was a young boy, back in 1991, when a lot of you children weren't even born, we were unsure how to pronounce these Chaos god names, and Slaanesh we used to pronounce as Slaanesh. Tzeentch we used to pronounce as many things, but I think the most common pronunciation was Tzitch. Korn was always Korn, and Nurgle was always Nurgle, so it was only Tzeentch and Slaanesh, wasn't it? A Tau model in non-metallic metal chrome. Is there a sort of big chunky Tau model that isn't massive, but a nice size, kind of similar to this Chimera? We're talking sort of medium to large battle suit. Can you do a poll on Instagram? What should we do? There we go. Oh, beaky. Ah, it painted my beak. Hold on. I don't think his beak should be the same colour as his plumage. That's something we can rectify soon. I need more water for the Liar's Blend now coming up. A ghost keel. Is a ghost keel massively expensive to buy? This is my question. This Chimera thing wasn't too expensive. It was like 25 quid. And I thought, for a big model, it didn't seem too bad. That paint in there is still a bit too wet, so I can't action that yet. What we can action is his feet. Why did the dog always stop what he was doing? Because he had paws. There we go. That was a DIY joke there. You can use that yourself at any opportunity. A ghost keel. I think a ghost keel might be a little bit too big. And we really would ruin the model. I think if I was going to do... No. I don't know. That worries me. My brain can't see an easy out for that. There you go. You've been digging around in your tomatoes, Mr. Chimera. Always pull the paint towards you. And that'll do. Right, now let's do his feet. Stipple it on. Old tomato feet down here. Why did the orange blend so well and yet the red isn't? I think it's because we've got too much of a harsh contrast here. That's alright, when that dries, that'll be no problem. Those bits are done. Let's get back. Oh, let's do your tongue while we're here. Slap it on. Oh, he's got some infections on his tongue by the look of things. He looks like he might want to go to the gum clinic with that. Where have you been? Not that I would have any experience with these things. Tomatoes out of clay. Now you are taking the piss. Clay tomatoes. But we can shade the orange with the red, which is going to work wonderfully for the next phases. Anyway, on to redoing the purple. What purple did we use? Can anyone remember? Well, apparently I have a DIY mix for that. Let's move you. Bring back palette hay. Which purple were we using? I don't know. I think it was this one. Oh, it's too thin. Make some tomatoes out of clay. It'll look really good, honest. Alright, let's test. That'll do. And we'll come around his head. I think I've just made contrast paints by adding this magic water to the paint. Oh, wrong paint. Whoopsie daisy. Quite hard to get it down into his crack, his neck crevice. Now I was supposed to use a different colour for his stomach bulge thing there. Is it his stomach? So his neck. But what? That's something we'll work out later. Do that orange. Wow, that original colour really was thin, wasn't it? There's like no opacity to it at all now, Astride. Marvellous. Work your way down the head like a so. So what does everyone have planned for this weekend? Does anyone have any exciting plans? And what are they? Would you care to share them with the group? Let's stick some. Oh, you've got a purple head as well, haven't you? The competition at the Sky. Oh, fancy hotel. What makes the hotel fancy? Is it like a really expensive one, or is it like a one with a load of spas and things? An AOP comp. What is an AOP comp? An attack of painters? An area of perusal? I feel like such a philistine when I don't know what these things are. Okay, splash that in there. The weird thing is I'm slowly coming back up to my normal method of painting the further in we get. And that wasn't the plan. That's how I get the blend. Paint it and then just splash water on it. 4-star hotel. Look at you. Oh, I want that other colour. This colour's starting to dry out on the palette. That's fine. It means we can mix up a fresh batch, which will be inconsistent with the original batch. Who knew? A Chimera might have such a lovely neck. Just a bit there. Missed a bit in there as well. Jam the paint in. Splashy, splashy, dashy. Oh, I've missed another bit on this tongue. D&D. I have never played Dungeons and Dragons, but my God, I want to. I have no idea how that game works. Have we had this conversation before? I feel we might have done. How many people are at this painting competition? Sounds like there's a lot. Alright, now this go back to that blue colour. Oh, my blue colour's nearly dry. Weirdly, the blue colour, or was it that blue colour that we used? The blue colour has changed. Sorry. Who cares? Down there. I thought we had a D&D conversation before. Thousands of entries. What category are you entering? And is there a way you can play Dungeons and Dragons online with other people? That sounds like great fun. Look how desaturated that flesh tone has become since it dried. That is bizarre. Very, very strange. Marvelous. Just bring that in there like so. Webs roll 20. Oh, this sounds great. I'm a little bit worried that I'd become addicted to online D&D though. Especially, how do they cope with people who have no idea what they're doing though? Would they just get really angry? The glitter dress. What? Do you know which category you're entering your knight? Or are you just making it up on the day, or? I don't know if you've noticed my painting speed is slowing down now, so I'm trying to put a little bit more effort in. Don't know if that's good or bad. I guess when we do that, we're kind of losing sight of the original brief. This new mix is darker. Aha. Would you enter it into a... No, it wouldn't be a dual category, would it? 'Cause they're hardly fighting. It's like a diorama, perhaps? I don't know. Perhaps a an open category? Severe concentration here. I can tell I'm concentrating because I get really quiet. A fantasy category? What, like just a general fantasy category? I don't know. It's going to be easy, isn't it? You'll find something. I am absolutely sure you'll be fine, and then you get to win. And then the sticker will arrive a few days later. I have got to get my hair cut tomorrow, so it might be the prime time to send these things out. There we go. Just like that. Just like that. Next up, what's next up? Let's re-hit those crest bits. Okay, we're in here somewhere. Poor old Chimera being laid on his belly. And we need to bring the old flesh colour out again. That horn can be that colour as well. No, that's wrong. That was wrong. Right. Flesh colour. That's very kind of you to share it on your Instagram page. You have to put it somewhere genius for everyone to see. Like on your forehead. That'd be a good one. Or on your husband's back when he's not looking. Where am I at? Flesh wings. The fleshy... What is going on there? A problem is what's going on there. We'll just dab a bit of colour over that. Just a touch of dabbing. And then we can blend it in. Just like so. Annoyingly, we've got some yellow coming in around the wings from somewhere. On his forehead. He'll love it. Who wouldn't want a sticker on their forehead? Flesh. The pleasures of the flesh. Oh, YouTube might not let me say that either. Good old Wodge. A few drips of water. Bit of myxomatosis. I'm curious to know what you guys are doing when you're watching stream. Are you like watching TV at the same time, or are you painting perhaps? What is the general thing to do while watching a stream? Maybe you're taking pictures of the model to show everyone. Painting. Okay. Would you like any watching it on the TV? My word, we are prime time in your house. Yeah, we're happy to give any painting tips that you might need, Lisa, because as you can see here, we have a marvellous think tank on painting skills. You don't even need to think about anything with us here. We'll just tell you what colours to use. Verity is actually decided to build the Chimera. Now that is inspiration. That's genuine inspiration has happened there. And I'm imagining your inspiration was, my God, that looks terrible. Mine's going to look a lot better. If you use genuine painting techniques, then yeah, I think you could be on to something. We'll both take them to the local games workshop and we'll ask them which one they think is best. The one that was painted very badly, or the good one. Don't you normally paint demons? May I ask where the Chimera has sprung from? A swarm of rats. Well, I'm glad your painting mojo has come back. There's nothing worse than losing your mojo. But this is one of the ways to fix it. Just paint something absolutely random with no idea how you're going to do it. I think it's the stress of painting sometimes gets to you, doesn't it? When you want to do a good job and you know you can do a good job, and you're just pressuring yourself, and then the sort of fun starts to drain out of it. Ah, the Chaos Beast. Oh, I saw those. Your men that were in a flap. The gory... what are those things even called? They look like the monsters out of Pitch Black to me. That brilliant movie with Vin Diesel. Furies. They were good. They are good. I remember looking at those in the in Athena Games. I don't know if any of you lot are familiar with Athena Games. When I was in there a couple of weeks ago, I quite like that shop. Oh, fudge packs! My flesh is starting to bleed into me blue. That's all right. I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to worry about it. Now, in my head, this flesh tone kind of looks like bacon. It is a good shop. I don't know who runs the place, so I'm hoping that I can steal their market when I open my own shop in Norwich. That would be great. And everyone can just sit around and paint and chat. Squit. I'm not going to use the word I was going to use. And there needs to be a TV in there where people can watch movies or playing perhaps inspirational movies. And it would be open late as opposed to shutting at 5 when everyone actually has time to go shopping. This is what I find bizarre with retail. Why are shops open when everyone else is at work? Wouldn't a shop be better off being open after 5 PM until about midnight than from 9 in the morning till 5? And is that a little bit political? Has anyone been... I'm asking a lot of questions here, aren't I? Has anyone been to Warhammer World lately? These wings are very therapeutic to paint. I must say I'm quite enjoying these. Not recently. No, I've not been for a while. I feel I need to go up there, but I don't want to go up there with no purpose, if that makes sense. I want to find something I want to buy. You can probably only buy there. Just to make the most of it, as it is like a 3-hour road trip. Smaug, yes! When we sell this, when we get the funds together, we could auction it for chat. No, it's not a charity then. If it is paying for a Smaug, we could auction it and see with a minimum price of £340. You'd like it, Alinda. If you've never been to Warhammer World, it's pretty good. It's just literally like a giant shop, and they have the cabinets where they just have one of everything in the cabinets to have a look at. And then you get the museum tacked on the side, where you can go and see all the painted stuff, which is pretty big. Takes a fair amount of time to get around that. Then you've got your on-site pub, or your Bugman's. And, I think I had a burger in there once, which must have been fine. And a lot of gaming tables, if you fancy playing some games. Although going there to play games seems a bit redundant to me. You buy lots of models you don't need. This is true. You kind of get wrapped up in that weird excitement of feeling like you need to buy something to justify your trip. Does anyone else have that thing where they think, I don't want to buy much, and you have like one little thing you're going to buy, but once you've bought that one little thing, it kind of opens the floodgates, and you think, well, fuck it, excuse my language, I'm just going to buy that now, and I'm going to buy that and that. And you kind of get swept up in the buying. A Warhammer shop day. I normally like to plan my purchases though, so everything comes online, or I'll pop into discount retailers, such as our mates down at Athena. Because I think, why pay an extra £5 for something if I don't have to? Purely by planning my shopping. I think you go primarily for the experience of it, don't you? It is fun. You can't... that bit of webbing between his wings at the top there, should that be flesh? It looks like that probably should have been flesh as well, now I look at that. I really want to paint that Smaug. I'd feel bad not painting him in the official scheme. I never have been a fan of the colour red, hence I never enjoyed Blood Angels. As I'm getting older, I've realised I don't understand why I don't like the colour red, and therefore now force myself to use it. Are there any colours that you guys don't like, but you don't know why you don't like the colours? Pink? A pink dragon would be interesting. Pink Smaug. I'm down for a bit of pink. I never use pink. There's not enough pink in the world. I don't like Blood Angels. No, actually I like them more now because it's come around. When I was a boy, I love starting stories with this. When I was a boy, around 1990, I'm going to go with 1993. Blood Angels were everywhere. They were like the Ultramarines of today. Everything you saw back then was Blood Angels. Blood Angels this, Blood Angels that. I'm a Blood Angel. Everyone wants a Blood... And I got fed up with it and sick of it. You saw them everywhere. Kind of like how people hate Ultramarines nowadays. But back then they weren't red. They were orange. And the paint was even called Blood Angels Orange. And now when I see old pictures of those Blood Angels, it makes me feel sick with nostalgia. Genuine sort of weird, sick, upset feeling. And it makes me think, I want to see some old style Blood Angels when they were painted orange as opposed to the new red colour. Blood Angels Orange. Okay, I've just had my timer go off. Thank you for watching, Verity. It was very kind of you to come along. I hope some of it was of interest to you. I hope you enjoyed painting your Chimera too. But yellow, they always say, is a hard colour to get right, but I always used to like painting Imperial Fists. Something in the challenge of a colour, which makes it pleasing, but yeah, red I struggle with. Struggle? Why can't I say struggle? I'm slurring my words. I think that bit of skin in there needs it. That should have been pink. I see it now. Pink flesh. The old flesh colour. I see what it should have been. There we go. Starting to make sense. Everything's slowly coming together. Jam that in there. All these fleshy bits are desaturated as well. Now they've dried, which is bizarre how that's happened. What colour are we going to do the stripes on this animal? I've completely forgotten. Was it the blue colour? There we go. Alright. As you're watching this on your TV, what is the video quality like, I have to ask? Because my monitor is basically an iPad screen, so I can't really see. It's good. That's good. I'm glad that it's good. I don't know what resolution it's pumping out. They say the biggest thing to get right is the sound quality. Well, we had months with echo till I realised I had a second mic in the background. There we go, some more fleshy wings painted. What's next? We have to paint those crests. I seem to be painting these crests over and over, not achieving anything. I may have overcooked it. Oh, this guy hasn't had his any of his details done yet. What's next? This guy. He needs a beak blending in. I'm at that stage when you're not sure what you should do next. Orange blood angels, yes, they looked nicer orange. Do a little Google search for blood angels orange and they look tremendous. I don't know how these stripes would work. Do they just come down? I'm a bit worried I'm going to ruin it if I stripe it. I could do patches. Let's just say bugger it and do it. Wet them in to begin with and then go over them again afterwards. This is whenever you do the stripes and everyone's like, nah, you shouldn't. You should have left them off. going to need some tidying. That's fine. I haven't heard this tune in a while. Must mean we've hit the 2-hour mark. 2 hours. If I was a tattoo artist, this model now would cost you about 100 quid in painting, plus assembly time, plus purchase of the mini. So we're talking about 200 quid now if this was tattoos. So we're getting up to that Smaug territory. I can't tidy those stripes up until the colour dries up a touch on me. Don't think. Even that orange has turned back yellow, desaturated itself. It's fun. This isn't how I normally paint. This is the trouble. How I'm painting here is completely not how I would normally paint. I just wanted something big that showed up a bit better, that's all. Normally I'd be putting considerably more effort into being tidy and neat. I'm just trying to do something a bit different, and we end up with this. I'm glad you enjoy it, but it doesn't mean it's completely pointless for me then. Is there anything you've noticed through watching someone else paint? blue stripe's going to need some severe tidying. He needs a colour on his knee, or does he not? Not sure. He's starting to look a little bit more how I imagined it in the first place, which is strange. It's just taken longer to get there than I expected. Yeah, I would probably agree with you. I'd probably go piece by piece to begin with. So if I was painting a Space Marine, for example, I'd do all his armour first, get it all highlighted, and then move on to the next bit. I think a lot of people do the old base coat first all over the place, but it's it just makes it look a mess for absolutely ages. I guess it all comes together right near the end. These feet should have probably been orange, now I think about it. There we go, fake blend, slap water on. Water, I should say, not water. Can we re-attack them stripes now? I think I might, I want to outline them. Don't know why. My gut instinct says outline those. Intriguing. On the camera, that yellow head there really looks different to the rest, but in real life it's not that different. That's weird. In real life. In real life it doesn't look terrible, honest. We need to blend that head in a bit. Just tap some bits there. Shaping up really good. I can't tell if you're joking or not, because to me it looks like an absolute junk pile. But you know when you're the painter and you just see all the mistakes, don't you? I'm getting ahead of myself there. I was starting to shade. I shouldn't be doing that. More base coating required. Let's do some teeth and lips. I need a brown to start base coating some, what are they called? Horns and things. What we got here? US Field Drab. That's pretty brown. Let's do a bit of red, I think. This is a weird brown. More purple. More red. If I can get these last base coats on, I'll be happy. Right, Bones. He's got a couple of them there. That is very kind of you to say that. I'll post a picture up when we're done. And then I'm going to dare you to say that again. All the shading is going to be done just washes. Wash, 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 wash. See if we can hit all those teeth at the same time. He hasn't got any gums. Normally they have a... oh yes he has. Okay, I'll switch off in a sec. His nails. And these ones don't even appear to be horns. I don't know what they are. Top ones can be horns. And back with feet. Right. I'm going to call it there because we are out of time. And I'm going to say thank you all very much for coming. I'll put some pictures up in a minute of what this looks like. I'll take them from far away so you don't have to see it too closely. But yeah, next week I shall continue on and hopefully I'll be able to pull it back a bit from the mess stage that we're at now. But thank you all very much for watching, and I shall see you all later.